LTP family, welcome to the LTP Lounge, episode number 28. My name is Mark. I'm one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to my left is the drum master himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Hey, tonight we've got a very special show. We're talking about dynamic pricing. We're talking about the new Disneyland After Dark event coming for 2026. Also, we're going to talk about construction updates and whatever anyone in the chat wants to talk about. We're also going to have a very special guest. But before that, let's roll the intro.
Roll that banger.
Hey. So without any further ado, let's bring on our guest. You guys may know him from his he's got a really good YouTube channel right now, and he's just all around nice guy. He was on episode 233 of our LTP podcast. This is the theme park conductor. Let's bring him on.
What's up, everybody? I'm theme park conductor. How's everyone doing today?
We are actually a lot better now that you're with us.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
There you go.
Yeah. No, actually, zero complaints, brother. It's midweek. It's Thanksgiving. A ton of things to be grateful for. I've got a healthy family. I've got great friends. Good job.
Yep, exactly.
Just got my heater fixed, so I'm all stoked.
All right. Well, good. Hey, that's good, Mark.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So Conductor has been in the Disneyland game for a few years, I think. He can maybe introduce himself a little bit because it's the first time he's been on the LTP Lounge. If you guys did not catch episode 233 of the LTP podcast, Limited Podcast, do check that out because we talk a lot about him. And yeah, so give us a quick view of 10,000 feet from your Conductor.
Absolutely. Well, like you guys said, I'm theme park conductor. You can find me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on Instagram at theme_park_conductor. You can also find me on X at Theme Conductor. You can find me on TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1. And you can find me every Sunday on YouTube at 5 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests as we break down Universal and Disneyland news, speculation, rumors, and so much more. It's such a great time. Come join me sometimes.
Yeah.
Conductor, you just say the word, and LTP will be there and help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
See how I just invited us over to your party?
There you go. Hey, anytime.
Likewise. Any. Well, again, it's funny. We started the whole thing 10 years ago with just talking about Disneyland. Hey, we're going to cover rides and attractions, and I remember Udi saying, "Oh, is there even going to be enough news to talk about, dude?" Every 2 weeks, less than every 2 weeks, there's something new coming from the Disneyland company, and tonight's no exception. We're going to talk about some hot topics. You guys want to start off heavy? You guys want to start off with some Disneyland After Dark stuff, or you want to talk about some of the new? There's already we've got, what is this? Haunted Mermaid says, "Hi, Conductor." Look at these, bringing all your friends to the show.
Good.
I am.
What's up? Okay. Hi, welcome and everything. Okay. we got some watchers here.
Yeah.
Love it. So we don't know you guys, but I'm guessing you guys are friends of Conductor, so that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah. So hey, let's just start off, I guess, with some fun stuff, and that's going to be the Disneyland After Dark stuff. Does that sound good?
I was going to go the other way.
Okay. Actually,
let's finish on Upswing.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to start then, Udi? Since you're the
we'll go with the dynamic pricing, because that one might be the one that we have a little bit of. It would be curious to see everybody's point of view. I mean, Mark, I already know your point of view.
Yeah.
Anybody in chat, their point of view, and then obviously Conductor will we'll get his point of view, because this one is one of those ones that I think it's going to be very loaded depending on your point of view. I've had more time to think about it, so my opinion may have altered a bit, but yeah.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know what dynamic pricing is pricing can change during the course of the day depending on different factors. I would imagine crowd there being a high demand for the park that day, they'll raise the ticket prices up to a certain amount of money. What I don't know is that right now we're living with a 0 to 6 tier, with 104 being the cheapest day, and then what is it? What is the biggest one, conductor? What is it? 170?
I think 170 or 180.
I thought it was like right around 180.
That's just,
Yeah.
if you want to throw a park hopper in there, that's another $65, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. That's non-hopper, non-park hopper.
So you're looking at about $240, $250 for a park hopping ticket for a single day.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, conductor's already getting comments. Hey, how's it going, theme park conductor?
It's going well, David. David's one of our loyal fans on Theme Park Conductor. Every time I go live or I do a video, he's always watching. So shout out to David.
Hey, David, welcome to the LTP Lounge. Hey,
thanks for coming in.
You're welcome anytime. The water is warm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what I don't know is if they're going to keep these price tiers intact. I don't know that. And how does this work with reservations? Because I know I'm kind of repeating what other people have been saying, but there's a customer base that, you know, we've talked about this before with Disneyland being like a locals park where, hey, it's Wednesday night, theme park conductors at the park, Udi, and you know, I don't have a magic pass or a magic key. Hey, let's go meet theme park conductor at the park tonight. We can still be there for, 4 or 5 hours. But guess what? We just can't walk in. We have to make reservations. And then if you go, wait a minute, the price is now going to be $199 just to get in tonight. I don't think I'm down with that. To me, it takes away the spontaneity of going to Disneyland, of what this was really about. You know, it's a regular day. Let's go to Disneyland and blow off some steam. And it takes that aspect away. It also just takes away. It adds another element of complexity to just planning your day and planning your trip to the parks. Is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think? Let's let conductor go first.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, you know, and I said it on your podcast. I said what the Disneyland Resort is doing, and we're seeing it right now, is getting rid of the old school type Disney, which we all kind of sort of grew up with the ticket booths and all that. Everything's going digital. Then on top of that, you got this new thing that's come up recently with the dynamic pricing. I don't know how I feel about that, because if I wasn't a magic key holder, let's say exactly what Mark you were just saying, if vice versa, I was coming to meet you guys had magic keys and I had to go into Anaheim, buy a ticket and make a reservation, I kind of feel as a guest experience that would be something that would deter me from coming to the resort. It's not just buying a ticket. It's the fact that 2 hours ago, like let's say I show up there at, I don't know, 5 o'clock, but at 3 o'clock it was $50 cheaper, but now it's $50 more. I don't know how I feel about that. And then on top of that, trying to make a reservation, which is almost nearly impossible. I still do not understand to this day how Walt Disney World, a tourist destination, can sit there and remove the reservation system, but yet the Disneyland Resort with only 2 parks still has a reservation system, but a world destination resort does not. I never could understand that.
Solid point.
No, it's a solid point. And then honestly, I think we talked about it a little bit on the upcoming podcast. It'll be coming out on Monday. One of our listeners Skittle Muffin, he actually DM'd me, and we were talking about that because he listened to that point. He listened to our show, and he's kind of like, hey, that Disneyland has to do with a lot of California labor law, and those are big differences between Florida and California, and that I've kind of been thinking about that, and right now, I mean, we covered in one of our stories maybe 1 or 2 shows ago, Starbucks employees were on strike, right?
Yeah, down there, yeah.
Down there, and so it all kind of, I think as I'm like my thought process is evolving on the whole thing, I think that's one of the things that's kind of pushing Disneyland to maintain that system, because they really have to keep a tight handle on labor. Now, in all of our lines of work, I think we've all had that moment in time where labor control is going to be the easiest one to get a hold of if you're trying to control the cost, right? So I think we've all had the experience where it's like, oh man, we're running too heavy here, blah, 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 blah. What can we do to kind of curb our overall costs? And the first thing was like, well, you go home, and you go home. Or looking for volunteers to go home. Boom. So I think I think that's playing a factor into it. Now, mind you, if it is, I still don't care. I really still think that Disneyland proper needs to retain and regain that thing where who cares if our biggest line item is labor, which it's going to be probably. Yeah. And who cares? Because it's about bringing more people in. It's about the experience. It's about going in and creating memories and all the things that we love about Disneyland. The cast members are a huge part of that. Right. So you need to have them there. So, yeah.
Yeah. They are, because one of the biggest problems, like I said, with everything going digital, the biggest problem, and one of our good friends, David from Fresh Baked, he did a video about a week or 2 ago talking about this ticket booth situation, and it fits right into what Trailmaster is saying. Is basically, there's not enough support staff, boots on the ground, to help people that don't understand how to digitally buy a ticket, since the ticket booths are going away. And then they sit there and shove, hey John, they sit there and shove the ticket booths right next to the lost and found, which is, I don't understand why the hell they did that, but they did. And then they have limited cast members. So if you have this family of 4 coming from Idaho that wants to go experience Disneyland, first of all, they're going to get there, find out they probably can't even get into the park because there's a stupid reservation system. Right. On top of that, they're not going to know where to go to buy tickets. And then when they finally do find out where the ticket area is, they have to wait an hour minimum to sit there and buy tickets for another day, because that day they go, it might be sold out. So it's like, Disney's kind of, I've talked about it with other content creators, saying that the Disneyland Resort, with all these expansions they want to do with Disneyland Forward, they want to make it a destination like Walt Disney World in a way. Yeah. But how can you do that when that family of 4 from Idaho or any other state doesn't live in California comes to the resort on vacation, doesn't even know where to buy tickets, and on top of that, doesn't even understand the online buying process that the resort's going through. It's confusing.
Confusing, yeah, as all get out. Now, to further your point, now I know you're in SoCal, Conductor, and Udi's was in SoCal, but I don't know if it's let's say they have dynamic pricing going on like right now, and let's say it's the holidays, and you've got family coming in to see you. They go, hey, Conductor, we want to go to Disneyland with you. Well, sure. That, and let's say they're from Idaho or wherever they're from, that's going to be a very hard ticket to get, no pun intended, because I imagine the dynamic pricing will be ramped up during the holiday season. Especially if they know that you're their Conductor. They're going to add another $45 to $50 on the ticket price. just because they know you're just because they know you're in the park. But how does all that? I mean, there's there must be a use case model that they've looked at to say, well, what about those folks? What about those guests that want to come in? Just exactly what you're saying, conductor. And I know Udi, they said, grew up in SoCal, and one of his traditions was to have family members come to the park. That all that's going to change, right?
Yeah, it's all going to change. And again, I think Disney, they looked at other industries. Like if you look at like plane flights, it's the same damn thing. If you're going to, let's say for me, like I'm going to Orlando in March, and I bought my ticket freaking 7 months ago, but if I bought it today, I looked at the difference. It's like a $500-$600 difference. I think Disney is taking taking the information from those type of companies, even travel agencies, and saying, hey, we can gain more money and more revenue, so why not implement this in our parks? But in a way, it's kind of even destroying the guest experience even more, in my personal opinion, because like I said, the Disneyland Resort, it's never going to be Walt Disney World. But on the other hand, everybody in the nation knows what Disneyland is. So when they come to visit from out of state, they want to go to the resort. But how in the hell can you do that if there's a stupid reservation system in your way? And then on top of that, if they don't understand the whole online ticket buying, that just deters people. And then you got neighbors next door where you got Knott's Berry Farm, where you can just go up to a ticket booth, buy a ticket, go right into Knott's Berry Farm. You got SeaWorld San Diego, you got Universal Hollywood, that you can go up to the ticket booth and buy a ticket. The Disneyland Resort, they think they're playing it smart, and I don't think they are. They're just deterring more and more guests away.
I think you're right, and I'm glad you brought up Universal, conductor, because I know you're a Universal guy too, and we just aren't. I don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, I know enough to have a conversation, but to go into the depths of it, what is the Universal ticket system? What are they doing right versus what we're doing wrong?
So right now, they kind of are where Disneyland is right now. They have the option, you can buy tickets online, but then they have the physical ticket booths there.
Okay.
And usually they have two out of the 4 open. If maybe during the holidays they'll have 3 out of the 4 open where you can buy tickets. There's plenty. So when you walk through security and then you go to the front entrance where the big archway is, they usually have, I would say at any given time, maybe 8 cast members or team members out in the little esplanade right there. And then each booth, they probably have, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 ticket booths, or not ticket booths, but like where they scan your ticket to get into the park. Usually they have team members there, they have supervisors. So if people have questions, it's well staffed. When I go to Disneyland, even though I'm a Magic Key holder, I'm like, okay, where's the team members at? And then when you find the team members, if you find one, they have to go ask another team member because they're not sure. And I don't blame them. But then again, it's something that the Disneyland Resort, I kind of feel, needs to work on. It's like the team members that are going to be boots on the ground, you should be training them to know all this information. So if a guest comes up to you and asks questions, you can handle it without, wasting the guest's time and answer those urgent, questions that the guest has. And I feel that Universal kind of wins that battle because they have enough people, boots on the ground. They have ticket booths available. And on top of that, they have enough. They have both options. You could buy tickets online or you could buy tickets right at the gate. So that's what they're doing right, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and going back to it, I think this is where the model that they took, and I think the commentary was from Disney was, well, they're working on this system in Paris, and I was thinking to myself, and I'm like, well, I don't know about the volume of people going through Paris, to be honest, and I don't know that park. I know very, very little of that park, but and they're saying, well, it's promising, yada yada yada, like they usually say. But
Sure.
the model though that they're basing on, and they brought up the examples of hotel pricing and airline pricing and how they vary, and we're all very used to that. The thing is like when you go to a hotel, when you're paying, a lot of people are going to hotels. They're not luxury hotels where they're going to stay. They're going there, a family trip. They're there for a little while. They basically are place to stash their stuff, sleep, shower, clean up, and off they go again. Same with a plane. I'm not, when I go on a plane, I'm not worried about like, am I first class? Am I going to get food? Those are the minor things. True. To be fair, I take short plane flights anywhere, but I don't care about that. Like I'm looking for the cheaper price. Yeah. This is a completely different animal. And then for them to try to mimic that kind of pricing structure in a Disneyland, I don't think is going to be, I don't think it makes sense. I think it's another way, and to me, it demonstrates Disney's pattern of really trying to pull every last penny out of you that they can in whichever fashion they can. So, and that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing that really is leaving a bad image, I think, overall, because again, the complication, like you're bringing up, conductor, all these things we brought, and I'm sure a lot of people you've talked to and your guests and whatnot have probably all kind of had that same kind of mentality of like, hey, we love it, but we love the park, but the complexity behind this is getting out of control. And when they add this, another layer. Yeah.
Oh, by far.
We've got some comments down here. That's
go for it.
Hold on. Let's see. Dave said, "What's up, Mark? How's your day today?" Hey, David, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. My day's been great, but it's even better right now because I'm talking with friends about a park that I love. Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining the party. John said hello. Hey, what's up, guys? I heard Idaho. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah, you did. Because he's in Idaho.
Yeah. Let's see. Put a giant sign on top of them and say tickets and disability services. What was that in reference to? Okay.
To that being in the corner. Yeah, no, but that. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Good evening. Oh, Lewis. Good evening, theme park conductor. Lewis is a great guy. He's on the show often. I love Lewis, and I think you'll get to know him.
He's our Florida park official correspondent.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. John said, I almost went to Disney last June, but I could justify the hotel stuff, Lightning Lane stuff, and the overall ticket prices, not to mention some of the unnecessary stuff they push in there. Something.
They push in there. So.
Oh, they push in there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
You're feeling a little discouraged, a little disenfranchised, John, right? Maybe is what I'm getting from that.
Yeah.
Have a good night, theme park conductor. Okay. Good. Bring your own.
I like it. He brings on to us. It's good.
There you go.
Look at this.
I know he does that.
Okay. John saying Disney's just pouring buckets on the customers and the parents.
Well, it's kind of true though. Like I said, it's just the Disney company is just not making it easy for the guests to enjoy the magic. And
no,
I've stated many times before. Bob Iger is going to be out in 2026. Whoever the next CEO is, whether it's Dana Walden or Josh Tomorrow, which I'm kind of leaning towards Josh Tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully he can get in there and really fix these issues because it's something that needs to be addressed. Because when you have a rival company, a friendly rival company, Comcast Universal, that's building all these parks, all these experiences all over the world, making it easy and efficient to get into their parks. And then you got Disney sitting there screaming on the top of their lungs, metaphorically saying, oh, look at us. We're going to sit there and change prices every other minute or every other hour to sit there and grab money from you and bleed you dry. It's like you guys were saying, it's not a great image. It makes them kind of look greedy, and it almost makes them look like Scrooge McDuck. You know, trying to get every little
Oh,
cent.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. Let's see here. Lewis has a comment. I'd like to state as your official Walt Disney World correspondent that the reservation system at Walt Disney World is not completely defunct. As a pirate AP holder, I have to make reservations practically every visit.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought
We're
the
go-
Walt Disney Resort kind of got rid of those.
That is what I
Maybe
heard
during
as
the
well.
holidays it's different.
That is what I heard as well. Well, you know, Lewis, I think we're gonna have you on to have that discussion. That'll be interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Fun as well.
Disney has so much debt from the Fox purchase, the park profits are being used to pay the debt.
Oh, that's one level of it. Do not forget the huge hole that their movie business has created. Billions down the toilet.
True.
Billions. So yes, and I've been saying it for a while. It's pretty clear that the theme park has been carrying the lion's share for that company in general. Because we say before, the cycle is broken. We know the cycle is broken. It isn't movie park merch going around and around and around anymore. The movie and the merch part are broken. There isn't that. That isn't that continual cycle. The park is still holding everything, but they haven't brought it, like it hasn't been park movie. You know. Anyway, so so that's one of the biggest problems as well.
Well, see, it's very interesting because when you look at it, because Disney has the media side of the company, then they have the park side of it, and then the third part of it, you have the cruise line. You know, like you guys are saying with the Fox purchase, then you got Lewis said with the lawsuit from George Stephanopoulos, the 23 million. You know, I don't think the Disney Cruise Line, I don't think the parks can, you know, balance out that hole that the media side is creating. So, and again, the movies that Disney's come out with, you know, obviously Zootopia 2 is going to put them in that movie's going to do phenomenal.
I think so.
One movie cannot carry the last 6 or 7 bad movies that Disney's been affiliated with. They can't.
They cannot. They cannot. And I you know, depending on, and this is now that as we're speaking, my mind begins to work. One of the things I'm wondering, and this will be very, very interesting, once they decide who the new CEO is. Who is it? Warner Brothers, and who is that? Who's Warner Brothers, and I can't remember the other.
So the bid with Warner Brothers right now, you got Comcast, Netflix, Paramount.
Okay, so that whole thing is going on now. If you notice what they're doing over there, is they're beginning to spin off companies. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
I'm wondering, now this is just me spitballing here. Whoever comes in begins to be like, look, in order for this company to continue for another 70, 100 years, whatever it may be, we need to begin to either let certain divisions sink or swim on their own, i.e. separate the park. Because when you listen to the earnings call, if you've been paying attention, they've been slowly merging their numbers in tighter. They'll take different things and they'll merge it under one umbrella so they can hide. They can hide losses. They can do these things. So I'm wondering if they're going to go like, hey, we need to now go through, because from what I've heard, Universal does a very line item, like bang, 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 bang. I've never heard one of their earnings call. I may now, just because I'm curious now the differences. But I'm wondering if Disney needs to do that. I'm wondering if once the new CEO comes in, it's like, look, movies, Lucasfilm, sink or swim. You know, animation, sink or swim. Pixar, sink or swim. You make your stuff, and if you fail as a company, then you're gone, or we pull you in and then we take over. I mean, they always will do this corporately. They'll pull companies together, but Disney, if you notice, like I said, slowly but surely is becoming one big glob, and they'll hide a million things in the one line item, which should clearly be delineated so you can really see what's going on. So I'm curious if that's a way to kind of correct that, because we know that if they went to just theme park and let theme parks sink or swim on their own, we already know what's going to happen. They're
Yeah,
they're,
but
they're going to fly.
don't you think the theme parks and the movies are symbiotic?
No, they
Well,
have some. They always have been. But my that's my point though, is that somehow you cannot let the single engine of the theme park continue to fly the plane.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now
That's my point. That's my point.
Okay, conductor, you gonna say something? Sorry.
Well, no, I agree. You know, and we talked about this on Orange Grove 55 the other night. It's almost getting to the point where it's like whatever the box office does, you know, movie wise from the company, then they try to implement in their parks. It's like, so is the future of the parks going to be based off the media side of the company, or is it going to be vice versa? Or like you guys are saying, are they going to try to separate? I don't know, because when you look at the Warner Brothers bid right now, you know, between Comcast, between Paramount, between Netflix, obviously Comcast and Netflix kind of want to pick apart Warner Brothers. Paramount wants to buy the entire, you know, whole Warner Brothers company with everything. But then again, you know, we're starting to see this day and age where linear is just dying out. It's like, why would any company like Paramount or any of them, why would they want to be interested in linear? Everything's gone to streaming. And I've said it time and time again in the last couple weeks, is the mere fact that this deal that Warner Brothers is offering, Comcast has the most to lose, because Comcast has Harry Potter in their Universal parks that they're renting the IP from. They have other IPs they're renting from Warner Brothers. On top of that, they use a lot of the properties they borrow for Halloween Horror Nights. And I kind of feel that Comcast is in the best position possible to buy Warner Brothers out and implement more IP into their park, because Warner Brothers has a phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal, IP library. They do. And Universal is one of the best companies to implement that in the park. And I've said it, between all three contenders for Warner Brothers, Universal Comcast is the number one company out of my mind that I would love to see acquire that. Because what does Netflix have to offer if they buy Warner Brothers? What does Paramount have to offer? They don't have theme parks.
No.
Universal has theme parks. And you can't tell me that if Comcast buys Warner Brothers, no one in their right mind wouldn't want to go to a Universal park and sit there and go walk through a Lord of the Rings land, or
killing me.
you know, go to Halloween Horror Nights and see it walking around, or you know, The Conjuring or something like that. You can't tell me people don't want to go experience that. Meanwhile, you got Paramount and Netflix. What do they have to offer besides streaming? And who knows? Because Warner Brothers has the new they're coming out with new shows for I think was it the Lord of the Rings TV series, the Harry Potter TV series, some other stuff. And it scares me to think that Paramount or Netflix wouldn't know how to handle that. Now, Comcast also acquires something that they're struggling in right now. Their streaming service, which is Peacock, is streaming, or that their streaming platform is really bad right now. So if they acquire HBO Max, imagine the numbers they're going to gain from that, because HBO Max is popular.
Oh, for sure. A couple questions here. Does anyone on the panel still watch regular TV? I'm only on YouTube these days, except for sports. I do not watch regular TV.
I do not either.
How about you, conductor?
Nope.
Okay. Nope. All right. And then Lewis said, that's scary that NC Universal taking over did Discovery Time Warner.
I don't know if it's scary.
I don't know if it's scary. I think, like I said, out of the three companies that are bidding for Warner Brothers, I think Universal is the best company out of the three to buy Warner Brothers at this point. Because the Hollywood Park, imagine this. I know you guys haven't been there yet, but
NBC. He said NBC. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Got it.
Think about it though. Universal Hollywood, if you look on it on Google Maps, it's literally adjacent to Warner Brothers Studio.
Mhm.
And people have been crying for years for Universal Hollywood to expand. And what a perfect way to do that if they buy out Warner Brothers and move a lot of the production
Mhm.
over across the street, get rid of all these sound stages they don't need, and build more theme park, which people want. And Universal Hollywood has a lot to gain if they acquire Warner Bros. Not just moving production across street, but the IP library they can use in their parks, because they'll save money in the long run not paying Warner Brothers licensing rights to Harry Potter. That's a
Mhm.
big one right there.
Yep, I agree.
Discovery is a garbage bin of stuff no one watches. Okay.
It has become. Hey, Mark, can you do me a favor? Can you go back a couple? Something about Zootopia. A couple questions. I was reading it.
Oh, yeah.
Zootopia.
Yeah,
Can
for
you go
sure.
back to that question real quick for me?
I will.
Oh, that comment.
Do you want to read it for you? Or you got it?
No, go ahead and please go ahead and read it.
Lilo and Stitch, Zootopia, and Avatar is making a ton of money. Movies will be fine. Avatar and Zootopia is making over $1 billion.
Okay.
And then they followed up with Lilo and Stitch 2, 3 movies with over $1 billion.
Okay. Now,
That
I
comes
don't
from
disagree.
and Luca. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't disagree with you with those 3 movies, but those are 3. How many have they put out? Now, obviously, not everything's going to be over $1 billion, okay? And that's not my movies. Maybe movies will be fine, okay? Maybe, but they haven't been, and that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The effect of what it's been in the past. So I just want to clarify that because I saw it and I like I said, I don't disagree with that they could be fine, but at the moment they're not. And this could be the path of recovery, and hopefully it is.
Yeah.
And that will hopefully begin to charge that side of the business again.
Sure.
But I think we are fully feeling the effects in the company now because of the past 5 to 7 years of failing.
Right.
I mean, you could almost delineate right after the end of the Phase 3 of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
You could feel it had an occasional pump, 1 or 2 good ones in there, and then all of a sudden, boom. Yeah.
Comment.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
and speaking of movies, and you brought up Marvel, and both you guys, I'd like your answer on this. Is what they're gonna reignite the engines of the Avengers and Marvel /
They're trying.
and to coincide with the 2 attractions, but the whole new I guess it's gonna be a series of movies, right, coming out from Marvel. What do you 2 think? How is this gonna be positive for them, or is it gonna be a struggle to recoup some of the momentum they had before? Because things were going good prior to COVID, right? We had Avengers Campus wasn't even ready yet, but but what do you think these movies are going to be successful enough for them to regain some of the money back?
Well, okay, so my personal opinion, just on the Avengers movie in general, look at what we're seeing with Doomsday right now, because we're getting little snippet pictures here and there on social media. When you have, and don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, because you have a lot of the actors in these movies, so that's awesome to see. But when you have something like that, imagine the budget they have, or what they're paying these actors. It's astronomical. And then at some point, like, we're seeing like pictures of Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. He's getting older. A lot of these actors are getting older. So are we going to see eventually what we saw with X-Men, where they have the new generation kind of coming in to play these X-Men characters? And could that just be the downfall of the Marvel of the Avengers movies in general? Because again, it's just, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted. I want them to do well, but it's just, I don't know. It's a big question mark for me.
Okay.
It really is.
Okay.
And equally, I have the equal degree of uncertainty in that. And now it said the Russo brothers are back, so that is a positive. My Marvel movie of all time was directed by them.
The Winter Soldier.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but the problem is now, and this is where they have to come out with a phenomenal movie because of phases 4, 5, and 6. So this is what we're talking about. After phase 3, it's that middle stuff that has just disenchanted a lot of people, including, and I count myself in that number of people. Like New Marvel, I'm like, oh, that wasn't very good. And then I move, like I'm gonna go right here, She-Hulk.
I never
That
saw
hurt my
She-Hulk.
brain. That hurt my brain just to say it. But anyway, horrible show, terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that's the kind of thing. So I hope with everything in me that it returns, but they have a definite uphill battle. And the point that you brought up, conductor, the money. That is where it falls into, because it's about making money. The price tag for these movies is going to be who knows what. And that's the one thing that people don't always, I don't know if everybody understands the side of the business is. Yes, you have the production budget for the film, which can be what, 150 million, 250 million, 2 million, whatever, 200 million, whatever it could be, right? What people always forget is the flip to that coin, which would be the advertising, which would be the same amount of money, if not more. In order for the movie to make enough money, they have to cover both ends of that. And if they don't, and that's where it's been. That's where Disney has been for the last few movies. Even though they say, hey, the budget was 250 million, and that made 400 million. I'm like, yeah, but what was your advertising budget? Probably about the same.
Exactly.
So maybe you broke even.
Well, see, Kiki and Luca makes a great point in the chat. Obviously, again, like we talked about with linear, with these companies just dying out, movie theaters are dying out. So everything's streaming now. So now it's like, okay, well, if you're not getting money at the box office like you used to do in the early 2000s, and streaming's where it's at what point are we going to see streaming prices go astronomically high?
Okay, Doctor, do not put that out into the universe.
No. Hold on. Let me come. You're speaking, and I'm like, here you go. One thing you can argue about with Bob Chapek, okay, is that he saw this coming.
Yeah.
That's why he pushed all in on Disney Plus. Okay. Problem one, that it was not an established streaming service. Okay. They didn't know what they're doing. They're figuring out as they go. So the product came out rapidly. They came out with a great one with the Mandalorian. That was correct. They came up with an amazing show that, I mean, you think about it back then, all the glory days of the Mandalorian. But then what happened is they continued to pump in the movie budget into the show, and they didn't have a good model to recoup that. That's where the failure was, in my mind. And this is why now they're talking about having a modest return on their streaming. But now that I still feel it's mostly because they bought Hulu. Hence why they went through such a thing to get Hulu, because they go, hey, this will make us look good.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's the problem is so the comment is correct. Is like, yeah, a lot of people, I still like going to movies, but I'm now super selective.
So
great movie that
Kiki said we are going to get AI movies in the future. They will be cheaper to make, but people will lose their jobs. Okay.
See, I don't want to dive too much into this because I could talk for an hour, but I'm going to tell you this. We saw this in the news recently. I forgot what actor it was, but they actually sued an AI company because they came out with, I think it was like a female, AI character. And I think it was like a commercial, or it might have been a movie or a little TV series or something. And it replaced an actual actor, and the costs were so low that it created friction all over the place in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and the actors are getting scared. They're all like, "Whoa, we really, really got to be comfortable or like careful how we negotiate, because it's like if these production companies don't like what we have to say, they could say screw you." go with an AI character, have low budget costs for a movie that they create, and reap in all the rewards like
Right.
it's 1990 all over again.
Well,
You know?
that was one of the biggest aspects, along with, you guys remember that
Yep.
from a year and a half ago too. But the crazy part is that what do we start talking about?
Well,
Dynamic pricing. Well, no, hold on. Let me do this real quick. We started talking about dynamic pricing. Look at where we ran off here, right?
yeah.
But the reason why I'm saying this is like, because this ties right. We can tie this right on back in, because what we're doing now is Disney's trying to figure out how to maximize their profit because of all the losses. This is all the big time. So that's why I love this stuff, because we begin running on a jag.
Yeah.
And that jag, we can pull it right back in and tie it right back in. How this affects all this, what we just
It does. Yeah.
Directly affects us, and could be one of the many reasons why we started talking about dynamic pricing.
Sons of Amusement. Hey, Jason, what's up? Netflix and Prime make their own movies for home viewing with their subscriptions. Why can't others? That's a great point.
Okay, so Netflix is an outlier, man. That is the big dog. They have millions. They were the first ones in and the biggest one in there. So you cannot hold. For example, how many other streaming services are huge other than YouTube? Same rule applies.
Right.
There's a lot of other small streaming services. Rumble's another one, and there's a few, but they cannot compete with YouTube, because that was a big dog, and that's a big dog in the room. And then was it Amazon Prime? They're carried with another part of the aspect of the business.
Right.
So I'm not, Jay, I'm not saying you're not, it's not a good question, but I'm just trying to highlight the fact is why they can't. Now, this is why I think Disney why Chapek thought he could pull this off, is because he had the entirety of the Disney library and all these different things, but the rollout is where they screwed that up massively. And then they were trying to run, and they hadn't even learned how to stand up yet.
Yeah. Okay. We haven't gotten to other topics tonight, which is great. I love this but this is great discussion.
Our segue.
Not a great segue, but I just started thinking about something when you talked about the Avengers attractions, and I hadn't asked Conductor this because I didn't even know him then. But what are your thoughts on this? Is not even to do with Avengers, but Coco. What are your aspirations? What is your what are you hoping to get out of this Coco attraction? Do you want a Coco Village and a moderate family flume ride, or what is it you want?
So, okay, this is ideally what I really wanted, to be honest with you, because it looks like we're only going to get just an attraction, maybe a little decor on the outside of the attraction.
Yeah.
I wanted almost like a small little village of, the Mexican, Hispanic community. Because when you look at Southern California, that's kind of what Disneyland's kind of surrounded by that, believe it or not. So it would have been a great opportunity to implement the Latino community 100%. Into this attraction and this IP by building a little mini land with a village and all that. You could still have the attraction. Now with the attraction, they say they want to build it based off the Shanghai Pirates. I really hope that's the case, because I've seen videos of the Shanghai Pirates and it looks absolutely mind-blowing. So I really hope that is the case. I hope they don't cheap out. I hope they go full budget on it and whatnot. But to answer your question, Mark, to be honest with you, I really wanted not just the attraction, but a little mini land with the village to kind of, tie in the whole land community. I think that was a missed opportunity by shoehorning it behind the Incredicoaster. It's almost like they're saying they're ashamed to build that, so they're hiding it, where you have to go find it.
Well,
yeah.
I said on the podcast when we were talking about this a while back, it's exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted, and I was hoping for with them to do that, expressly because of the Latino community. So, being in Southern California, huge Latino community, one of them, So it's one of those things where I would like, even though I'm not Mexican, I'm Latino, and I don't have that Mexican culture. I have South American culture, but we all have a few ties that bind. So anytime I see things like that, it speaks to me. And yeah, I was definitely hoping for that.
Oh.
Maybe they do something. I don't know, but it would be great if they did. I completely agree that it would be great if they added something more to it and made a pueblo, made something like that, incorporate more of La Familia, Ofrenda,
Look at you.
all those kind of things. All that kind of thing that is great. And hopefully they do touch it like that. Maybe they do have a place, the altar with the Ofrenda, and have these kind of things where it will pull things from the movie and just highlight the culture, because I think anybody who starts digging away, not only Mexican culture but Latino culture, there's so much going on. Yeah.
Well, see, to answer your question real quick, I think the best location out of all locations they could have put a Coco mini land, to be honest with you, is Paradise Gardens and getting rid of Goofy Sky School. If they want to demo that whole area, and even those kind of carnival rides where you got the symphony swings that half the time it's closed because of weather. If they got rid of that whole area and they put Coco in that area, I guarantee you it wouldn't have been a hit. But like I said, shoehorning it behind the Incredicoaster, it's almost like they're ashamed of it.
Okay.
They're saying, here, we're going to give you an attraction, but we're ashamed to really build it out. So we're going to shoehorn it in the back corner.
Yeah. A couple of comments, though. I agree with you both. I was hoping for, and we don't know yet, but I'm hoping there is going to be a village where people can go and experience the culture, and just get embraced and all that. I also feel as if we need a new restaurant, a Mexican restaurant back there. And conductor, when you go in March or May, it's March, to Disney World, when you go to Epcot and you go to World Showcase and you look at the Mexico Pavilion and you see they've got a restaurant inside there, and they also have a log flume ride in there as well. It's not a thrilling ride, but you're going to go, oh, gosh, I wonder if we could put a Mexican restaurant inside our Coco attraction. And how cool would that be? That would be awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they go full on this and not give us some cheap boat ride thing that is replicated in another park. And that's something that they need to do right. I think because as far as I know, out of any park, any of the Disney parks, Disneyland is probably the closest to the Hispanic Latino culture. I mean, I'm guessing by far, right? I mean, I wouldn't say the Florida parks are as much as us. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I kind of feel that back in the day before Bob Iger, it was Michael Eisner.
Yeah.
I think honestly, to be honest with you, and I hate to even say this, I kind of feel that's why we never got Westcott. That's why that's why Epcot works so well in Walt Disney World, because one, it's a tourist destination. Two, they can get away with having different cultures in one little park. That's why Epcot works out there, because it's a tourist destination. Now, eventually, if the Disneyland Resort wants to expand into the Toy Story parking lot and make that the third gate, I would be 100% open to putting a Westcott in there, because I love the old school ideas we had for the Westcott. Not copying Epcot, but you can have the big giant spire, you can have all these little different pavilions. I think it would be awesome.
It'd be incredible.
But back when Eisner was a CEO, I just didn't feel it worked. That's why they went the way they went with Disney California Adventure.
Nice. Yeah. Jason's saying not enough space where Sky School is, conductor. Okay.
Yeah, it's a small space. Don't get me wrong. It's very small, but again, if Disney puts their mind to it, they could figure it out. they're smarter than they look. Like, for example, if you watch their YouTube channel now that they have the Imagineering YouTube channel, they just came out with another episode talking about the little Olaf character that's going to debut.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
in the
awesome.
Shanghai and in Paris's Arendelle that they're building. You know, again, they can figure out a way.
Yeah.
Maybe not in that area where Goofy Sky School is, but I don't think just having an attraction and a little area that you walk through to get to the attraction for Coco, I don't think that was enough, especially to represent the land community that the Disneyland Resort in California is surrounded by. I think it's more of an insult than it is anything else, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I can't disagree.
What if the new park is Westcott? Says Haunted Mermaid 13. Yeah, well, then, then we're all winners. So we got about 5-6 minutes left. Let's talk about the new dates and details for the 2026 Disneyland After Dark events. In general, so wait a minute. So we've got, let's see, Sweetheart Night. Sweethearts Night. Wait a minute. Jason has a comment about something here. Okay. What is this about? Don't get me started on what a waste of time and money they spend on these robots that get shown for 2-3 weeks and never seen again.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully,
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. All right. So we've got Disneyland After Dark Sweethearts Night, Disneyland After Dark 70 years of favorites, Disney Channel Night, Star Wars Night, and Pride Night. Conductor, yes, go ahead.
So I'm going to say I looked at these events. Not one of them interests me except for one. That Disneyland, the Disney 70th one. It's only going to go for 2 days.
Yeah.
And that one interests me because one of the things I would love to see, 70 years of Disneyland. Imagine being there and they have all the old school characters come out, the ones you never ever see, like Mother and Father from was it oh my god,
Interventions, Carousel Progress.
Carousel Progress. You got you know, the DuckTale characters. You got just I could go on and on and on and on, but you know, like Han Mermaid said, you got Flick. It's just they can bring out all sorts of characters. Imagine that. So when the tickets drop for those 2 days for that event, I could tell you right now, you can blink and those tickets are going to be gone.
Oh, 100%. I made the
Never coming back.
Yeah, I made the comment, I think, on the podcast coming. It's like, if you want those, you better be on the queue with a quick, like, on the spot, because good luck.
Yeah.
People. Oh yeah. Is that something you're gonna try to get, Conductor?
What?
Are you gonna try to get tickets for that event?
So I actually am, and I and a friend, Hollow Gelato George.
Yeah,
we are actually going to try to attempt to buy a ticket for March 3rd, which is funny because it is the night before we take off to Orlando for 2 weeks. So we're gonna pull it off. We're gonna try it.
Yeah. Are you gonna document your attempt? Are you gonna document your attempt?
I might. And you know what's funny? Because I talked to George, I'm like, because originally I was gung-ho to buy a ticket for D23, but you know, my whole thing is with D23, it's kind of deterred me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because now, you know, I got this event happening, then I have the Orlando trip, and then me and George actually planned in 2027, it's gonna be my first time. He wants to take me on the Disney Treasure. So I'm going to be doing it in 2027. So D23 for me is a no-go anymore, especially since they got rid of all the vendors on the showroom floor that they bragged about. So it's like, okay, what am I going to do on the showroom floor besides look at what? So
yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way with D23. I always think it's a really good idea, but the last two sessions I have not been able to get tickets, and I got frustrated. But you know what?
Possible.
And I really want to go and be a part of that. But the last two times we've done it, I've had a really good time with Udi, and we've gone live, and we're able to do the stream live and talk about the announcements as they were going in real time during a live show. To me, that's just as fun. You know? Yeah.
By far.
Yeah, but I mean,
because you know someone's gonna sneak a camera in there. I think last year, someone was on the upper deck, and this guy, I swear to you, I'm not even kidding. Me and I think it was George or someone else. We were doing a live stream, and this guy had 40,000 people watching his live stream because no one could record, but this guy snuck in the camera somehow and was recording it. So I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, because eventually they're going to catch up to him and say, no, you need to take that down or we're canceling you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
People paid money to be there.
Yeah.
So,
if Walt Disney Imagineering came to you, conductor, and said, "Hey, we need you to come up with a Disneyland After Dark event for 2027," what are you gonna pick?
Man, God, that's hard.
Okay, you cannot say Universal Night.
Oh, what?
Universal Night.
Oh, no. No.
Disney After Dark.
You know what? Actually, to be honest with you, okay, you're gonna think this is absolutely insane, but you know how I was talking about Epcot and Westcott? What if they did a festival at DCA and it was all like kind of set up like Westcott and Epcot, where they had different little mini pavilions of food and entertainment per area? I think that would be absolutely phenomenal.
Cool. That'd be cool.
That'd be phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Well, that would be more than a night, though. That would be like a full-on festival. I mean, yeah, but that's great. I mean, I love that.
Yeah. And then one for Disneyland, I to be honest with you, God, I would.
We got a super chat.
I would really.
Thank you.
I don't even know how to do that.
Luca.
I don't even know how to use that.
Yeah. Kiki and Luca is a really good. He's an awesome supporter of Theme Park Conductor. So again, I brought my entourage with me. So
you can bring him any time, conductor.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. But for Disneyland, I don't get me wrong, the Disney 100 celebration minus the banners being incorrect on the tram route. I'm not even going to get into that, but I would love to see them do a night where it brings back a lot of kind of what they're doing with hopefully with the Disney 70th After Dark event, where they kind of really incorporate what the company is all about. They bring back old attractions, not like physically, but kind of like old attraction ride vehicles, or to put them on display and stuff, and kind of just make like the Disneyland Resort kind of like a convention almost, to kind of showcase, hey, this is what we've done over the years since 1955. I would love that.
Oh, I'd love it
because Universal Hollywood actually did that with the 60 years of the Studio Tram Tour, the Esplanade, the little plaza area. They brought back old facade attractions that are non-existent at the park, and we got to see it. We got to meet old school characters we never got to see. We saw old ride vehicles put on display. The Bates Motel area, they had big props that they used to have on the studio tour back in the early 90s and early 2000s. If the Disneyland Resort did something like that, that would be an After Dark event I would push to go to.
Oh, agreed. That's a solid answer. Solid answer. Okay. Well, we'll probably leave it right here. This has been great. And I'm going to talk to Udi offline or sometime and see if we can maybe do this once a week now. But I don't know, because it seems like there's always a lot to talk about. Normally we run, I know there's some people that are new to the show here. We go, oh, and maybe comment here. I'd love to see
I love that.
I'd love to see a 50. Oh yeah. Yep. We talked about that on episode 234.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'll just do like a real spoiler on that. My idea for that was a 50s and 60s night, but the guests have to wear, like their dapper clothing, you have to dress nice, and only attractions that were from the 50s and 60s are operating that night. So no Space Mountain, no Indiana Jones, no nothing in Critter Country is open because that's not there. Galaxy's Edge is shut down, but everything else is up. Or Big Thunder shut down. Sorry, conductor. But everything else is available, and they've got dancing on the Mark Twain with live music. They've got swing dancing in front of the castle, what used to be the Carnation Plaza Gardens over there. That's my idea for that.
That'd be fun.
What do you think about that, conductor?
That would be an interesting night. That would be very, very interesting. I wouldn't. Yeah. Hey, at this point, Disney's got to start coming out with stuff out of the box. They eventually, I've talked to friends and they said, you know what? Some of these after dark events, they keep bringing back every single year, and it's almost repetitive, kind of like Oogie Boogie is, where they add maybe a little difference, but you got to hunt for it. But just full face in front of you, it's basically the same thing. So it's like, why are people getting excited and buying tickets immediately for something they saw the previous year? I want to buy a ticket for maybe the same event, but see different stuff, not the same stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And we can talk about this a lot. But thank you, Entertainment Adventures, for being a new subscriber. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love it. I love this sort of discussion. And again, I'm very, very grateful since we're in Thanksgiving right now. Tomorrow, I just want to say that I'm very grateful for the LTP family, including now the conductor. I'm very happy to have met you last couple of weeks and welcome you to our little group. You're welcome to come in whenever you like. I mean that sincerely, and I'm thankful for everyone that has given us the time over the last 2 years.
Yep. Agreed.
But I you know what? I have to be thankful for my theme park conductor community. Everyone watching tonight, you guys are all awesome. I'm so glad I met you both. By reaching out on Instagram, I absolutely love that. I love that us content creators have a community where we can reach out to each other and say, hey, let's do a video. I found your last video very interesting. That's how you guys approached me. So it's very awesome that you guys reached out. I'm so glad to be part of the LTP Lounge community. To be honest with you, I can't wait to do future content with you guys, because we can ramble on for hours on end. And that's the part I love, because it's like, then we start diving in deep into the theme park aspect. And, it's funny, a friend of mine, Orange Grove 55, he always likes to say, us as a community for, theme park enthusiasts, we have a different mindset than just the soccer mom families that go into the park and don't really dive deep into what they're actually looking at. So I love this. I live for it. But I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Please be safe. Enjoy your family while you still have them. It's a time for thanks and love and support. And also both of you, happy Thanksgiving as well.
Thank you.
And I just want to say as well, I'm Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram, or YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on Instagram at theme_park_conductor. You can find me on X at theme conductor. You can also find me on TikTok at theme park conductor 1. And you can find me every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we talk everything from Universal to Disney, the speculation about the parks, rumors about the parks, like we did tonight, so much more. We have amazing guests, and I want to personally invite you both to a Conductor Sunday live stream very, very soon. So I will be in contact with you both. And it's gonna be a great one, because usually my minimum is about 2 hours. So it's gonna be a good one.
Buckle up. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Last two comments, and thank you so much for the invite, Conductor. We will absolutely be there. And you can tell OG55 he can come on our show sometime. I have no way of contacting him, but
absolutely.
Last couple comments. Steve wants your Boba Fett back there. I'm sure Udi does too.
Yep. I'm like, hey. I like that.
There's a question now. There's a okay. So go ahead. So when the new parking garage at Eastern Gateway is done built for
Eastern Gateway at Disneyland is done built, the pedestrian bridge over Harbor Boulevard is done. Do you think Disneyland will be working on? So again, I don't want to go too long on this, but I will tell you the catalyst, the thorn in the foot, as I'm going to call it, is going to be Monsters Inc. Once they strip that ride of theming animatronics that they might use at Hollywood Studios for Monstropolis, and then they rip down that building, and now they're saying people are speculating that they're going to wait until the Avengers attractions are almost nearly done, and then they'll start building the Eastern Gateway, and then they'll start building Avatar. We might not see Avatar starting to be built until 2030, to be honest with you.
That timeline makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
And I hate to say that.
No,
I hate to say it.
I think that timeline makes a lot of sense. It's just the way it is, sadly.
Okay. Well, great question. Anytime you guys post questions, we'll stop to answer them for you. That's kind of what we're trying to do is talk amongst ourselves and connect with listeners and have this community grow. We got to work on that. But hey, you heard Conductor where you can find him. We'll link all of his information on the show. You can see us every other Monday, or you can hear us every other Monday. Episode 234 comes out on December 1st. We've got a really good guest. A Mental Mouse is on that show. Jerome, super cool guy. Love that
awesome guy. Yeah.
And we do the top 10 secrets of Main Street USA. So be sure to be sure to get that's on leavingtodaypodcast.com. You can subscribe on any of our channels, and all of you can click and subscribe to this channel, because I think we're at 65. Let's get to 70. I know we're so slow with this. I don't know how many Conductor has. He probably has thousands, I would imagine, but we're getting there. All right. So, Udi, where can people find out more information about you?
Basically, you can find me on my Instagram, which is HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. That's going to be my main thing. And I answer all my DMs. And then you can find me obviously on the LTP and here.
Yep. Same with me. You can find me on Leaving Today Podcast on Instagram or leavingtodaypodcast.com. Send us an email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. We're always willing to talk and willing to have you on the show. Okay, so actually stay on the line, Conductor, after we get done. But for us, I want to say we love you, adventures out there, and we'll see you in the parks.
See ya.